Good afternoon, David.
Good afternoon.
Perhaps if we could just start with a short introduction to you and Tata Consulting.
Sure. My name is David Ratnam. I'm the consulting partner for the commercial advisory practice for Tata across the UK and Europe. My background is that I've been a chief procurement officer, CPO, for a number of FTSE top 100 companies, after which I came into consulting in 2003 as a consulting partner for KPMG, and I'm now with Tata, and I'm someone who is very passionate about the broader commercial proposition that procurement has to offer to private sector organizations. And it's a great pleasure to be associated with ProcureCon, who we've known for a few months now, and I've been to two of your events, and it's very stimulating to see a conferencing organization of your caliber seeking to champion what's a very important business agenda item across FTSE 250 organizations today.
Glad you think so, thank you. So, given that it is such a big deal, that procurement is so important, as someone who's seen a lot from around the industry, what are some of the biggest areas of challenge right now and particularly in the year ahead?
To me, the global economic recession and the euro crisis presents a real opportunity for procurement to leverage its broader capability, i.e. to move from the buying side of things into a much more commercial, strategic, business enhancing offering. And indeed, in my career, I've taken procurement to an operating board position across 5 global FTSE top 100 organizations. So the opportunity is around the broader commercial proposition of procurement in the areas of risk, it's the areas of profit enhancement, in the areas of contract compliance, as well as ensuring that the procurement strategy is aligned to the business strategy, and actually partnering with the business, partnering with our key suppliers, and driving a greater degree of profit and enhancement and risk mitigating capability to FTSE 250 organizations.
So what are some of those common pitfalls then that you see the procurement officers fall into when they do want to take it to this more strategic level?
I think the major challenges that your typical private sector organizations faces in a number of areas. One is around procurement having a limited organizational remit to operate, or we call it license to hunt. There is a degree of unalignment between procurement objectives and business objectives. There is a opportunity to help boards of companies understand the broader commercial proposition and to change perceptions from procurement being a buying and a support organization to actually being a commercial directorate, adding value strategically. There's an opportunity for procurement to play in some of the more strategic conversations at board level around core versus non-core and make versus buy, and actually being at the forefront of strategic partnership type decisions that boards have to make around outsourcing of non-core services and developing strategic partnerships with organizations that can help them achieve those objectives. Indeed, in the global economic climate that we are in today, which is going to continue for some years to come, FTSE 250 organizations are challenged in growing profitable top-line revenue rather than revenue for revenue's sake, and indeed are being squeezed in certain sectors around margin. So the opportunity for procurement to be positioned as a profit-enhancing, risk-mitigating, and the custodian of their organization's strategic commercial relationships and supply sources is a big opportunity.
Do you think maybe one of the challenges then is to do with the recruitment side of things and talent management? That now that we're seeing a change in the nature of the role, they also have to start thinking about how they bring people in and who they bring in.
Absolutely. I mean, I came from a commercial finance background, credit, treasury, and risk management, and I have found in my 28 years of being a practitioner that background has been substantively value enhancing in bringing a more business proposition to how procurement is managed, as evidenced by the roles that I've had in my career. So I think some of the dynamics of bringing of the CPOs of tomorrow and the second line, third level to management within procurement functions coming from a more business background, some finance experience, with some risk management experience, and ideally those who have also worked in strategic support functions, including marketing and so on, can be quite value enhancing for the profession moving forward. So we need a variety of skills, not just buying skills.
Exactly. Now, of course, as you are actually here for a panel session tomorrow.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what that session is going to be about and what you're bringing to the table.
So tomorrow's session is about some of the challenges that procurement professionals face in the current Eurozone crisis. And indeed, whilst the crisis is in existence, the crisis hasn't actually resulted in any tangible outcomes around any countries leaving the Eurozone or the whole thing collapsing. That's as far from reality as reality could be. So I think the strategy of containment in terms of the bailouts and in supporting some of the southern European countries through austerity and through financial injections is something that I will see continuing. From a procurement point of view, I think CPOs have the opportunity to look at things like multi-currency procurement, looking at things like hedging, looking at things like developing more strategic partnerships with their core suppliers, the 80-20 rule, looking at developing more collaborative relationships, and looking at how they can risk mitigate their critical supply routes to market in order to provide some level of contingency in the event of anything more serious and substantive happening. The Euro crisis, I think, has two dimensions to it. The first dimension is around businesses that are purely European Union focused, as compared to businesses that have a more international dimension where they would trade in multiple currencies across the different countries that they operate in, as well as perhaps some of the major deals being handled in US dollars rather than just being euro exposed. So for more global organizations, that's less of a risk. But then there's the second dimension of more European Union-centric organizations that only trade within the Union. But I think from where I'm sitting, I see the strategy of containment in terms of protecting the interests of the euro continuing for the foreseeable future. But that does not negate the opportunity for looking at ways of mitigating risk, ways of de-risking your critical supply sources, as well as looking at a level of hedging and risk mitigation moving forward, if you like.